This computer. Okay. Multi-step equations. Go ahead and do the new page here. Multi-step equations. It's 27. Okay. Where's my paper? Sorry, I just had my paper. Okay. First example. So again, a lot of review, and the first two things I want to put up are just from yesterday. Okay, because you're going to see them again today. You're going to see a lot of stuff you've already seen, but all thrown at you all in one assignment. Okay. So this is going to be 4x plus 8 equals negative 6 plus 2x. 4x plus 8 equals negative 6 plus 2x. And these will get shorter as we go. The longest one we've done was from yesterday. Okay. All right, so here's my equal sign. Just like from yesterday, there's x's on both sides of the equal sign. Doesn't matter which one you move. If I move the 4x, I still have the 8 there. If I move the 2x, I still have the negative 6 there, so it doesn't matter. I'll choose the smaller one, though, just to avoid a negative in the end. So it says plus 2x, so a minus 2x. This is all just from yesterday. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then I have a negative 6. Okay. Now I have a two-step equation, 2x plus 8. Okay, so 2x, I know I'm going to divide by 2 last, but I want to do the addition subtraction first, so I'm on minus 8. Okay, so I have 2x left over equals negative 6 minus 8 gives me a negative 14. And then the last step, 2 times x, opposite of times is divide, so I'm going to divide by 2. X equals negative 7. Okay, so just like yesterday. And then the second one is also just like yesterday. Okay, so x equals 10 plus 6x. All right, so here's my equal sign. Remember, there is a 1 in front of this x. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 under here. This 1x I don't want to move because there's nothing else there. Okay, so I'll write just like I did yesterday, don't move that one. Move the 6x. It says plus 6x, so I'm going to minus 6x. Okay, so I have 10 left on the right side. The left side, I have 1 minus 6. For the x's, 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Right? That says negative 5 times x. So I'm going to divide by negative 5. Okay, so I have x equals 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. Okay. All right, so those were from yesterday. Let's go ahead and do another one. This one is from a few assignments ago. 3 equals x plus 5 over a negative 2. 3 equals x plus 5 over a negative 2. So on one like this, realize the right side, the entire right side is a fraction. Okay, so I want to divide here. I want to multiply here first, okay? Usually I say do the addition subtraction first, except when it looks like this. Right? I want to multiply by that negative 2 on both sides. I want to multiply by the denominator on both sides. Okay, so there's my equal sign. I'm going to multiply that denominator. So I just have an x plus 5 left over. Okay, negative 2 times 3 for the left side. This is a negative 6. X plus 5. Okay, one-step equation. I just have to subtract the 5. Okay, so I have x equals negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11. Okay, so if it looks like this, where the entire side's a fraction, you're going to multiply the denominator first. Okay. All right, so another one, number 4. 15 equals 3 times the quantity of x minus 7. 15 equals 3 times the quantity of x minus 7. Okay. Here's my equal sign. When you have the parentheses like this, okay, you want to divide out that 3 first. Let's go ahead and divide out that 3. Divide out the 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. That 3 divided by 3, that just gives you 1. Okay, 1 times x minus 7. Well, that just leaves this x minus 7. Okay, so now I want to get the x by itself still. That says minus 7. So I'm just going to have to add 7 to both sides. 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay. All right, so we've seen ones like the next one before, but I don't think it looked like a one-step equation. Okay, so 8 minus x equals 3. So this one looks like a one-step equation. It looks like we just have to move the 8. Okay. But remember, there is a 1 in front of this x. So I'm going to put a 1 in front of that x there, 8 minus 1x. So I got to get the x by itself. Again, that's a positive 8. Right, that minus goes with that 1x. So I'm going to subtract this 8 since it's a positive 8. When I bring down the 1x, don't forget to bring down the negative sign or the minus sign. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Then the last step is to divide by a negative 1. Negative 1 times x, the opposite is divide. So I'm going to divide by that negative 1. Negative 5 divided by negative 1 is a positive 5. Okay. And again, this one is one you can think about. 8 minus what equals 3? Well, 8 has to be a positive, x has to be a positive 5, right? 8 minus 5 equals 3. Let's do one more like that one. Number 6. 9 equals 7 minus x. Okay, so one way to think about it is 7 minus what equals 9? Well, it has to be 2, right? 7 minus 2 equals 9. But let's go through the process on this in case you have negatives thrown in there that confuse things. Okay, so there is a 1 in front of this x here. I'm going to put the 1 there. Okay, so that's a positive 7. So again, I'm going to subtract 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. And then when I bring this down, I bring down the negative also, negative 1x. Oh, actually, I jumped to the gun on that one. 7 minus 2 would be 5, right? So, yeah, be careful. 7 minus 2 would be 5, wouldn't be 9. So you got to think about the signs a little bit here. So let me go ahead and divide out this negative 1, divide out this negative 1. So I get x equals 2 divided by negative 1 is a negative 2. So it wasn't a positive 2, but it was a negative 2. Okay. 7 minus a negative 2. Right, there's your minus. X is a negative 2. Minus a negative, same thing as a plus. Right, so when I put a negative in there, it works. 7 plus 2 is 9. So that X has to be a negative. Okay. Okay. 2 more, and you haven't seen these two, even though they look kind of familiar. Okay, so 12 over x equals 3. 12 divided by x equals 3. Okay, so before, when you saw these, the variable was in the numerator and there's a number in the denominator. Okay. All right. One quick way to think about this is 12 divided by what? 12 divided by x, 12 divided by what equals 3? If you think to yourself and come up with 4, you'd be correct, right? All you have to do is that one step, 12 divided by 4 has to be 3, so x has to be 4. Okay. And you'd put in 4, and you can go on to the next one, right? Let's go ahead and do the process on this, though. How that works is when I multiply, I have to multiply by the denominator. Before, when we've done this, the denominator is always a number. Now it's a variable, okay? So I'm going to multiply by x on both sides. I'm going to multiply by x. X over x gives me 1. So what I have left is a 12 equals 3x. And then 3 times x, opposite of times is divide. So I get x equals 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so again, you just gotta think to yourself, what does x have to be in order for this to equal 3? X has to be 4. Okay, let's do one last one like that. Just for, let's throw a negative in there. Negative 24 over x equals 6. So on this one, when you think about this, be careful, there's a negative in there. Negative 24 divided by what equals to a positive 6? Well, you know a negative divided by a negative would equal a positive. So whatever this number is, has to be a negative. Okay, because you got to get it to equal positive 6. So it's going to be a negative, and then 24 divided by what equals 6? 24 divided by 4 equals 6. Okay, so it'd have to be a negative 4. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and just work it out just to make sure here. All right, so there's my equal sign. I can multiply the x here, multiply by the denominator. Okay, all right, so I have x over x, that'll be gone. I have negative 24 left. On the right side, I have a 6x. And then I'm going to divide by 6. Okay, negative 24 divided by 6 is a negative 4. And that's what we were thinking in the beginning, right? There has to be a negative 4. Negative divided by negative gives you a positive. 24 divided by 4 equals 6. All right, so I'm going to hand out here what you see we may have missed. I'm going to go ahead and star the IXL. Okay, so on the IXL for today, also same as yesterday. You only needed to get to a 50. Okay. Oh, let me stop recording real quick.